Hey, Stuart. I just wanted to congratulate you on getting 750,000 subscribers to your Marin Music Center. Freaking sweet.
People of the world, friends and relatives, 750,000 K-Mart shoppers. People of the world, friends and relatives, I'm so grateful. But at the same time, 750K is like the most underwhelming Q&A because it's like we've been doing well for a while. We're not at 1 million yet. See, I don't even have the light up numbers for it. I had light up numbers for 10K, for 100K, for 250K, 500K. We didn't get a 7. Why would we get a 7? So it just says, okay, this Q&A, this milestone, it's okay. This is Hufflepuff. She's going to join me for these first few questions. These are questions that I receive all the time. I've already answered them. I love them dearly. They are all my children, but we just got to get through these. Why is it called Marin Music Center? The simplest answer is because I live in Marin Music Center. No, because I live in Marin County. The second most realistic answer is that I used to run a music store called Marin Music Center, and it was the center of music in Marin. May or may not be true. People of the world, friends and relatives, the question I receive most is, the question I receive most is, when are you going to start a gaming channel? Are you going to do an Elden Ring Let's Play? I gotta tell you, I'm so bad at video games. I'm sorry. People of the world, friends and... I can't say people of the world, friends and relatives in between every single question. Another question I get all the time is, how old are you? How tall are you? Don't you understand that I only reveal that information in my weekly newsletter, which you can sign up for free at marinmusic.com? Once or twice a year, I reveal my height and my age, and my height and my age during the newsletter segment of the day. So you can go to marinmusic.com, sign up for the newsletter. When are you going to finish the tutorials for This Charming Man, Hotel California, Dust in the Wind, Landslide? This is a George R.R. Martin situation where it's like, you can tell he does not want to finish those books at all. He does not want to do it. I am not convinced that he spends any time writing those books, but I'm pretty sure he spends a lot of time thinking about them and worrying about them and being resentful about them. So that's the only answer I'm going to give to that question. All right, we're going to let Hufflepuff fall asleep on the couch. You notice she has not made eye contact with you a single time. Hufflepuff, you at least have to say hi. Okay, yeah. My other dog, Dobby, is sadly still alive. She's probably going to be dead by the time this video comes out. And this video comes out day after tomorrow. She's doing fine. She's doing great. People of the world, friends and relatives, let's get to some actual questions. Do you have any guilty pleasure songs / albums / artists? I do kind of object to the term guilty pleasure, but I understand what you mean, so I don't actually object to it. All through my teenage years, Aqua was my guilty pleasure. Now, my guilty pleasure, I went through an Oliver Tree phase of about 6 months ago, and then currently I'm listening to a lot of Froggy Fresh TikToks. So those are my guilty pleasure candidates. Which guitar chord would you go out on a date with and why? Well, first of all, how dare you? I'm married. But second of all, let me drop my clipboard on my guitar and then I'll show you the chord that I would go out on a platonic play date with. C major 7 chord. Actually, I have no interest in being friends with this chord. It would only be if it was a romantic situation. C major 7 chord is gentle. It is mysterious, yet inviting. Very sexy. Let's lighten the mood a little bit. The next question is, my father passed away in June and playing guitar has become an unexpectedly important way for me to process that grief. Uncle Stu, has playing or creating music ever helped you through difficult times? Yes, but I don't feel like I've ever like released emotion or processed grief through music. I think it's been more about something to occupy my mind and my hands and my time. I definitely have like dug deep into music just for something to focus on that wasn't misery. That's the end of my answer. Got any tips for making huge hand stretches on the fretboard more comfortable? I do. So if you have some big crazy chord, like the first chord in Nah by Alex G, I don't remember the chord, and it's some big crazy stretch, there are two things that I want to say right now. One is keep your wrist pretty straight no matter what. If your wrist is bending, you're doing something wrong. And I know that we've all seen video of Dave Matthews playing chords and he's got his wrist like so bent. That's not normal. That's unusual. Try to keep your wrist straight, which means you might need to like point your guitar up towards the sky. Excuse me while I kiss this sky. The other thing is bring your thumb down towards the bottom of the neck. If your thumb is up here, you're screwed. You're dead in the water, dead as a doorknob. If you bring your thumb down here, you can stretch way further. Next! And now I'm mixed up. I also forgot to cross out what I've already done. Father passed away. Great, good for you. Which guitar chord do you want to have sex with? Answered that one. Personal favorite guitar wood types. I think... Okay. This guitar is all mahogany all day long, and I really love it. I think it looks good. So I think my answer is mahogany, but I'm pretty sure that Les Pauls are made out of mahogany, and I'm irrationally angry at Les Pauls, so I guess it's just a wash. So my answer is no, I do not have any personal wood types for guitar. Also, I don't think it matters. People of the world, friends and relatives, I'm allowed to say it. It's been like 5 questions since I've said that. What is your favorite band t-shirt that you own? Well, I don't really wear t-shirts out in the wild, but when I'm working out, I wear t-shirts, but none of them are band t-shirts for 2 reasons. 1, all of my band t-shirts have been destroyed. 2, they're not organic, and my wife only lets me wear organic clothing. I had a Nine Inch Nails David Bowie Outside Tour t-shirt that was so hideous. It was off-white and it had just ugly pictures and these big blocks of text and it was disgusting. But I loved it so much because it was from my first big concert that I went to, which was a life-changing experience. I went to a Sleepytime Gorilla Museum concert and I bought a shirt and I had them all sign it. And so that was pretty exciting. But I was so awkward when I asked them to sign it that I've never forgiven. The lead singer literally rolled his eyes at me because I was so awkward. And it wasn't like in a friendly way. He wasn't trying to make me more comfortable. He was trying to make fun of me because I was such a loser when I was talking to them. And he seems like a nice guy. This is all on me. Anyway, all of my band t-shirts were super worn out because I wore them all the time. And then I tried to make a dog toy out of my t-shirts. And I actually did a pretty good job. And I was like, this is a way for me to keep my band t-shirts, even though they're so tired and old that I never wear them. And then my dogs destroyed them within like 20 minutes. And now they're all in a landfill somewhere. People of the world, friends and relatives, have you ever been in an embarrassing phase, like style, hair, outfits, etc.? I guess so, but I'm not really embarrassed of the phases of like fashion and stuff that I've been through. Like I was a super like nasty emo teenager, but I think that was just part of my process. Like I think every phase I've gone through was just part of my process. So I'm not embarrassed of that. But a lot of people also ask like, what's the most embarrassing moment you've had? The cringiest moment. So there are like, there are 5 things I can think of that are too embarrassing. And they're situations that I'm guessing a lot of you have been through, but they involve inappropriate. There are 5 things I just can't talk about. And I can never say out loud ever because I just need to pretend that they don't exist because they're so embarrassing. You You have been through these same things, and they are the things that you choose to just pretend don't exist. But as far as things I'm willing to talk about, Spam Risk is calling me. I'm gonna do it. Hello?
Hi, may I speak to James Brown?
It's the second time that has happened. The most embarrassing thing that's happened to me that I'm willing to accept as an actual thing that happened and then say it out loud was in high school. Somebody asked me out on a date, and I didn't want to go on a date with them. And so what I said, because I didn't want to hurt their feelings, was I said, yeah, that sounds great. And then I never spoke to them again in my entire life. At the next day at school, I saw them, just walked right past them. They would call my house. I would never return the phone call. I just pretended that person didn't exist. And I think that was so hurtful. And I really kind of struggle with the fact that that's a part of my past. But wait a minute. Okay, someone else asked something about regret. They said I don't know. Someone said do you enjoy being regretful of all the things that happened in your life or something? And the truth is, there are lots of things I'm embarrassed of, lots of things I'm ashamed of, but I don't really think regret is part of my life. But this isn't fair. This is a privileged thing to say. My life has turned out pretty good at this point. So everything led me to this point. So if they were who's they? If people in the world were we've invented a time machine, would you be interested in going back in time and killing Hitler? And I'd be ugh. The thing is, I really like my YouTube channel. So I don't think so, because I don't want to mess that up. Okay. Can we get a performance of you and your wife duetting a song together for your subscriber milestone? I'm not making any promises, but I think there's a chance that might happen at 1 million. I have not cleared this with her yet. What is your favorite color? Brown. Some of these I've answered in other Q&As. I have 3 or 4 other Q&As. You can go check those out if you want more in-depth answers to some of these. What is your favorite holiday? Thanksgiving. For some reason, I cannot explain. I think it's because you get to just hang out and chat with people and drink a beer, and it's a good time. Who's your favorite singer? Either Elliott Smith or Kurt Cobain. They're both dead. Coffee or tea? Coffee, 1000%. Tea makes me feel a little bit sick. Lack of sleep or lack of eating? I'm going to put my guitar down. Is that okay? Lack of eating. Because if I don't sleep, I lose the will to live. And I mean, if I need at least 6 hours and 45 minutes of sleep a night. If I get 5.5 hours of sleep, I actually truly lose the will to live. You can ask my wife. She will vouch for me on this one. Who's the favorite person in your family? That is literally the worst question that you can possibly ask someone. I'm not going to answer that. What is the unforgettable moment in your childhood? The unforgettable moment in your childhood. No, this is bad. It's a bad memory. It was my first day of kindergarten. And up until this point, I think my life was pretty decent. I really enjoyed my Ninja Turtle action figures. I liked watching TV. I liked playing in the backyard. My first day of kindergarten, my mom walked me to school. She walked me up to the gate. She said, "Have a great first day." I said, "Great. Thanks, Mommy." I called her Mommy at that point. I walked into the playground. I was like, okay. The bell rang, and I literally collapsed to the floor in a weeping, not weeping, sobbing, screaming mess of tears. It just suddenly occurred to me that I had no idea how to exist as a human being in the world. And I've kept a little bit of that feeling with me. All right. How do you feel when you started to learn guitar? What age did you start learning guitar? I started guitar at 11? Well, I started before that. Let me just skip this question. Sour or sweet? The answer is sour. Sweet or spicy? The answer is spicy. Spicy or bitter? The answer is bitter. Bitter is perhaps my favorite flavor. Sweet is perhaps my least favorite flavor. Are you having a good time right now? Yes, I am. Thank you very much. That's not what the question said. That was just what accidentally came out of my mouth. Are you actually a real life uncle? What are your thoughts on your fan given nickname, Uncle Stu? Do you have kids? I feel like you'd be a good dad, but I am not a dad. I am, however, a real honest to goodness uncle. I have 7 grandchildren, nieces and nephews. I'd like to give a shout out to Maisie, Brody, Arlo, Ashton, Augie, Kinsley, and Colton. Shoot darn it, I was supposed to say Colton then Kinsley. My wife is going to be so mad. I really love my nieces and nephews. I get so happy when I get to spend time with them. Uncle, A+. What music have you been listening to lately? Adrian Lenker is one of my current favorite artists because it's just so miserable. But I also, Deftones, I still think takes the number 1 spot of my current favorite band. Okay, I don't know. The problem is, if you just ask me, what's your favorite band, what's your favorite movie, all that kind of stuff, I can just sit there and talk about it all day, but it gets so boring because I forget okay, the next question is, what are your toxic traits? My toxic traits are that I firmly believe that I am the main character. That's not actually true, but it's a little bit true. And I will just talk about what my favorite things are endlessly until people literally just walk out of the room. That's never happened, but I feel like it could happen. I have 2 more toxic traits. One is I tend to show affection by teasing people, by making fun of them. So if it's one-on-one, that's okay. I think they usually understand that I mean well. But if we're in a group, it just turns into bullying. And I just pick a person and I bully them. And then I leave the party or the dinner or whatever going that was a really fun time. I'm really glad I got to spend time with that person. And then they go home and they go, I am so hurt. And then, okay, this is a true story. Multiple times, I have had people call me or text me and say, hey, I really didn't appreciate how you treated me tonight. And in my head, I was like, I just showered them with love and affection. That has happened to me multiple times in my life. So that's one of my toxic traits. The other one is I put on too much deodorant. People of the world, friends and relatives, we have finished page 1. We only have 5 pages left. I don't think we're going to get through all these. People of the world, friends and relatives, do you like/want fan art? Will you ever consider reading fan mail? Yes. I've had a couple people send me fan art and fan mail, and it's so much fun. I love it. I would love more of it. Let me give you, I have a P.O. box. Hang on. I just need to find it. Okay. I should have had this written down. I could guess, but I don't think that's a good idea. I don't remember how to use my phone. My P.O. box address is 936B 7th Street, number 111, Novato, California, 94945. Send literally anything you want there, and it will make my day. I feel like I'm a little bit too eager here, and it's coming across as kind of pathetic. People of the world, friends and relatives, Uncle Stuart, how fast can you run a mile? Okay, I'm doing it. I have my watch here. I'm gonna say start workout. Crap, it's going. I have to go. Okay, running. I'm running. Here we go. This is easy. This is very easy. I'm having a good time. This is an enjoyable experience. I'm not afraid. Are you afraid? Because I'm not afraid. I'm gonna get such a good time. I'm hitting my first little rough patch. I don't know what that says. I've forgotten how to read numbers. Oh crap, there's another jogger. Now I need to look like I actually know what I'm doing. I am 1/3 of the way through my mile. And it's not good. So here's the problem. I'm really good at walking a mile. I didn't know running a mile was gonna be so much harder. I'm just pretending that I'm Aragorn and I have to get to Merry and Pippin. They're probably already dead, but I gotta try. Come on. Come on. I gotta slow down. I'm 0.46 miles in. It's taking me 4 minutes and 36 seconds. I'm getting my second wind. Okay, I need to walk for a little bit. We're 0.59 miles in. It's taking me 6.5 minutes, but luckily I have my third wind. Here we go. Rumor has it that a dead body was found under this bridge, but I think that I made up that rumor when I was in like 7th grade, so I'm not exactly sure if it's true. There used to be a Renaissance fair here. I never went, but I hear that it sucked. Oh, guess what? I think I'm gonna get my 5th wind in just like another 20 seconds. I can feel it. Hey, my exercise ring closed. Okay, we're at 0.83 miles. I'm gonna run the rest of the way no matter what. Here we go. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 3.14. Keep running, you're almost there. 0.99. Keep running. Keep running.
Sprint pace, 11 minutes.
Go. 11.5 minutes. That's so much better than I thought it was gonna be. It's really pretty. Oh, thanks, but I was talking about the view. What's your favorite book and why? My favorite book is The Time Traveler's Wife. Because it's really sad, and it's like basically it's the book that I most wish that I had written. My second favorite book is Breakfast of Champions. Lord of the Rings is not anywhere close to my favorite because even though I love the characters, love the story, the movies are so much better. I think the Lord of the Rings books are fine. The movies are incredible. If you could swap bodies with anyone, dead or alive, for one day, who would it be? Probably I would go with alive, not dead. What's a memory that still haunts you to this day? The thing I said about the person who asked me out. Did you write any songs when you were a kid? Were they good, and what were they about, and do you remember them, or do you have recordings? I do have recordings. I did write these songs. They were not... honestly, they might have been okay. I'm not sure. I'm a little bit afraid to listen to them. They were all about either political stuff that I did not understand at all, or they were just like desperate, like incel type stuff. Like... It's just true. I'm just trying to be honest. Bookshelf tour. Have you been keeping up with any new comic book runs? Well, those are two completely different questions. Really quick bookshelf tour, but I'm just going to give you some highlights. I'm not going to give you an actual tour. Let's see what we've got back here. Zombie Survival Guide. It's actually a really crappy book. No offense, Max Brooks. I'm sure your dad is really successful, but I really like the concept. It's just not my favorite book. No, that was a mean thing to say. If someone said something like that about me online, I would be hurt forever. This is the best book on my shelf. Writing Better Lyrics by Pat Pattison, a teacher at Berklee College of Music, where I attended school at Berklee College of Music. This is one of my favorites. This is the something about Lord of the Rings stuff. And it's really, I like the way it looks. I've barely read any of it. Silmarillion, I've read the first, chapter so many times, and I love the first chapter, but it's just so hard to get very deep into it at all. That's what she said. The Study of Orchestration, one of my very few textbooks from Berklee College of Music. This might actually be the first time I've ever opened this book, but it just looks very smart. It looks very academic. The Complete Idiot's Guide to Magic Tricks. This is probably the book I've actually spent the most time reading. If we're being honest, I think might be my favorite book of all time. I'm pretty sure this magician killed himself. People of the world, friends and relatives, the prized jewels of my crown collection. My 2 Magic the Gathering collector's boxes that I'm just afraid to open because, like, the thing is, as long as they're sealed, they have potential value, but as soon as I open them, the value goes down to almost nothing. And I know I don't have the One Ring in here because Post Malone has the One Ring. Do you still play for yourself or for your own, not for professional reasons? And does playing guitar ever get tedious or uninteresting? I feel very fortunate in that I really, truly do love playing guitar. I have gone through short little phases where I have not loved playing it and where I just wanted to avoid it unless I had to play it for professional reasons. But for the vast majority of the time, I've really loved playing guitar. I don't want you to think that if you don't love playing guitar all the time, that like it's not meant to be or whatever. There are many things in my life that I have really had to work up the motivation to do. Okay, YouTube is a great example. YouTube was the worst when I was trying to get it started. It was so much work. It was not fun. My whole week revolved around just getting the video done. And I was so happy when I was just done with it and I didn't have to think about it. But I have turned that into something that I love. So if you really want to play guitar and you want to be a guitarist, but it does not resonate with you and it stresses you out and it's not fun, I'm not saying that you should keep doing it, but I'm saying that that is not a reason to quit if you would like to keep playing. You don't have to love it to eventually learn to love it. I think that's good advice. I'm sorry. What is your favorite type of cheese? Are you a big cheese guy? You seem like a big cheese guy. That's an offensive, hurtful question. I don't know what it is about me that makes me seem like I'm a big cheese guy. But yes, I am a big cheese guy, and Munster cheese is my favorite kind of cheese. What's your favorite type of protein shake? It doesn't say that. It says, what's your recording, editing, posting schedule like? It's like COS or something. Or maybe they decided that they were trying to poison people with lead with that one. I can't remember. My content posting schedule is pretty crazy. Because I post on Instagram, this is boring. Why'd you ask this stupid question? No offense. I post on pretty much every platform, pretty much every day. It's a lot of content, but I really, really love doing it. Sometimes my wife tells me that it would be good if I had friends and hobbies. And she's right. But the thing is, I do have friends and hobbies. You are both my friends and my hobbies. Even though we've never met before, you are my friend and my hobby. I do think it's insulting to call a person your hobby, but it's just the way it goes. So I'm sorry. Not sorry. If you could go back in time, what advice would you give to your younger self? So I realize this is like our second question within a different question. But if I could go back in time and tell my younger self something important, it would be, just do your homework. Just do your homework. Not because it makes you a better person, not because it's the right thing to do, not because you need to get good grades, none of that stuff. Just because you will have less anxiety and less stress if you just do your homework instead of worrying about your homework being due all the time. We're literally like halfway through the second page and this is just not working out. This is just like, I feel like I'm holding you hostage. There's just so many questions. We're going to try to go fast through some. When you are completely honest with yourself, whose approval are you still chasing and what would it take for you to finally stop? I feel very fortunate in that my parents were always accepting and approving no matter what. I don't think I'm chasing anyone's approval. Oh, no, that's not true. I'm chasing there were these kids in high school that I thought were really cool, and I just wanted them to think I was cool. Yeah. So those random kids in high school, they were in a band. Although, I went to Warehouse Records, and one of them was working there, and he seemed like legitimately happy to see me, and he remembered my name, and I bought like Kid A, and I forget what other album, and he was like, oh, these are cool. I need to check these out. Thanks for reminding me. And basically, I got his approval that day when I was 21 years old. So yeah, I think I'm good. I don't need approval. People of the world, friends and relatives, what lie do you tell yourself regularly to justify working on things that you know deep down don't truly matter? The only thing that motivates me to actually do anything is the knowledge that it doesn't truly matter. If I thought something I was doing actually mattered on a cosmic scale, I would never do anything because I could not handle the pressure. Do you think Nirvana is overrated? You ready for this? I love Nirvana, one of my all-time favorite bands, and I actually do think they are slightly overrated. Do you speak another language? Je suis pas de mon temps, parce que c'est mon genre et les autres ne va. Mais moi je vais continuer, pas de mon temps. No, I do not. I took Spanish 1 in high school, and then I took Spanish 1 again in college. Did you go to school for music, and what school? Yes, I went to Berklee College of Music, and I studied contemporary writing and production, and I absolutely loved it. My principal instrument was upright bass, not electric guitar. Is there any word of advice for those of us who want to pursue music? Yes, two. I have 2 words of advice. They're sentences, paragraphs of advice. One paragraph is, it's temper your expectations. I mean, or manifest it and reach for the sky. I don't know. I think you're in for a tough row to hoe, or whatever they say. That's not what you said last night. Yeah, we weren't talking about hoeing rows last night. We were talking about other stuff. Can't believe you brought that up. People of the world, friends and relatives, this is my actual advice. If you want a career in music, I think you need to create something yourself. You use other people, bring other musicians in. It can be a communal group thing, but I do not believe there are jobs and musical positions out there waiting for you. You need to create something that the world wants, and then you can take that and turn it into something bigger, and that might mean record your own songs. It might mean put together a production. It might mean create a recording studio. It might mean create something brand new that no one has ever tried before. I believe that to be successful, you need to make something and not wait for someone to ask you to make something. I'm mad because I'm having so much fun, but this video can't be 2 hours long. Guys, I think we need to stop. Let me just do a quick skim to see if there's anything that I really want to answer. But the truth is, we all know this is going to be at 1 million within the next, year. So let's just, put a pin in it, and we'll get back to some more questions later. Let me just take a quick look here. These are just all such good questions. I don't want to skip any of these. I want to answer all these questions. God, I'm very upset. I'm legitimately upset. All right, here's the deal. I just looked through the rest of the questions. There's just way too many good ones. I can't stop yet. So I've set a timer for 10 minutes just to give us all some anxiety. I'm going to start this 10-minute timer, and we have to be done by the time the timer goes off. All right, here we go. What is something you learned about life you wish you learned earlier? What is something, a value, belief, mindset, etc., you live by, and why? Well, that's an easy one. I think you have to try to love and accept everyone no matter what. I know that's really hard. But life is such a struggle for everyone. And if you can find some way to feel love, I just have to believe that makes life and the world a better place. I feel very strongly about this, but it is very much a challenge sometimes. Do you have any yearbook or childhood pictures to show us? You're gonna have to follow me on Instagram for that one, guys. Are there any songs stuck in your head right now? Yeah, it's a Do you guys know what that was? I'm not sure if that was legible. Words can't be legible. Well, they can if you write them down, but not if you speak them. People of the world, friends and relatives, what do you think about death? How do you deal with those kind of haunting thoughts? I love thinking about death. I think about death all the time. It is one of the things that helps get me through the day, is just knowing I'm going to die someday and it'll be fine. How did Marin, not joking. How did Marin Music Center start, and how long did it take for your channel to really start to grow? So, what happened was I started it during COVID, just as like, I don't know, life is horrible, I have to do something. And it wasn't like I was bored. It was like terrible things were happening in my life and I wanted something hopeful to grab onto. So I started a YouTube channel. I made ukulele videos. I don't even like ukulele. I don't know why I did that. Whatever. It got me started. Then a few months later, I made the decision, no, you know what? This is what I want to do. I'm going to make this work. And once I made that decision, I think it took about 2 years before anybody watched anything. So, I don't know. Is that motivational? Do you plan on making tutorials for every Radiohead song? I actually kind of do. Because I'm going to do this for another, 25 years or something, and there's only so many Radiohead songs, and I'm pretty sure they're kind of petering out. I think they're not going to put out any more albums. Do you plan on making tutorials for every Radiohead song? I just answered that. If you had to listen to some kind of noise for the rest of your life, not music, what would it be? I have a very sweet answer for this one. I would listen to the sound of my dogs snoring. The most soothing sound on the planet. What is your hidden, most useless talent that you have? I can sense which direction is north, 70% of the time. What is your favorite decade of music? 90s. It's when I was a teenager. Can you make a silly song on the spot for us? Oh my goodness. I thought you'd never ask. Okay, so to get started, I just need a topic. I just need someone out there to shout out a topic for my song. I heard someone say suicide. I'm not going to do a song about suicide. I'm going to write a song about my dog Hufflepuff. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hufflepuff, I love you and I love to pretend you love me too, even though I'm not convinced you even register me as another living creature who is capable of giving and receiving love. Oh, I love you, my darling, toxic dog, oh yeah. C major 7 chord, the sexiest, most pornographic chord around. People of the world, friends and relatives, what is your take on posers? I'm perfectly fine with posers. I was a poser for most of my life. I used to have the same kind of energy you have, and people call me cringe, and now I stopped, but I wanted to be like you. What do I do? I think it's the age-old thing about confidence. I think if you just have completely unwarranted confidence, then everybody loves you. If you had to kiss an animal on the lips, which would you choose and why? A human being, because I love my wife. Hey Stuart, I love your videos. How do you learn the songs you teach? I learn them by ear and watching live videos. Have you ever played classical guitar, and what do you think about them or whatever? Yeah, I think classical guitars are fine. I understand they serve a purpose in the world. The deal with I make fun of classical guitars sometimes, and it's not because I'm showing affection, as per my toxic trait. It's because I just don't like them because I physically don't think they're fun to play. How can I improve my singing? You have to record yourself. Oh, they already said. Yeah, I don't know. You just have to do it a bajillion. To get better at singing, you have to record yourself singing and listen back to it. This person clearly already does that, and I just didn't read their question correctly. You just got to record yourself and listen to it a billion more times. That's just literally how you do it. I don't know, or maybe you take voice lessons, but I'm not going to take voice lessons. I'd be embarrassed to do that. From working with other musicians, what looks like the hardest instrument? Well, I think piano is physically not the hardest. I think trumpet is physically the hardest to play, but piano, you have the most responsibility. As a piano player, everybody expects you to be able to do everything all at the same time. How did you learn to get good at power chords and bar chords? chords? Well, I watched the Marin Music free bar chord course at marinmusic.com. If you could change one thing about guitar, what would you change? I think 6 strings is too much. I think it should be 5 strings. Hey Uncle Stu, do you like space? Like the solar system, stars, or black holes and stuff? That stuff, space, stars, and black holes, literally my favorite thing. It's one of the things that I think about at night to put me to sleep. And in another life, if I was not a musician, I would like to be an astrophysicist. But I just unfortunately never did my homework. Uncle Stu, what's your favorite Magic deck to run? I like Golgari, specifically the Gitrog Monster Golgari Commander deck, because I don't like the feeling of having 100 cards and you only ever use like 40 of them. I want to use like 90 of them. I want to go through all the cards in my deck. So I like ones where you shovel things into the graveyard and just pull stuff out and you draw cards. It's my favorite. Would you rather trip and fall while on stage or badly mess up a solo? Absolutely, I would rather mess up a solo. And here's why. You are going to mess up a solo. Every serious musician messes up their playing on stage every time they get on stage. Nobody notices. You just move forward, and that's the way life goes. If you fall, that's really embarrassing. My biggest show I ever did, where we opened for Alice in Chains, I did this big jump back, and I didn't realize where my amp was, and my leg kind of clipped my amp, and I could feel myself falling, but then I caught myself at the last minute, and it actually looked pretty badass. There was video footage of it. That was one of the most terrifying moments of my life, was when I almost completely fell over opening for Alice in Chains. People of the world, friends and relatives, what is your go-to Chili's order? There's only one answer. Let's all say it at the same time. Awesome Blossom. Why would you order anything else? When you write lyrics, that question is too long. I don't have time for it. What's your favorite part of making these videos? It's the part where I in the middle of each video, I actually truly feel like I am here having a conversation with you. Like there's another person there that I am having a human connection with. That is my favorite part. What's your least favorite part? It's adding the chapter markings in YouTube where you put the timestamps for the different sections of the song. I hate it. If you had to fight a gorilla with the weapon of your choice and you had 1 year to train, what weapon would you pick and what's your plan? So I think about this sort of thing all the time. If I am ever faced with a life or death battle with a human, animal, anything, my plan is kill myself instantly. Because I cannot deal with the idea of killing another thing. I just can't do it. So just take myself out of the equation. Done. What band could you never get into no matter how much you tried? This one's gonna hurt you guys. This is gonna sting. Are you ready? So I didn't read that question very well. Let me read it one more time. What band could you never get into no matter how hard you tried? Soundgarden. They are all so skilled. We're so skilled. I think their songs are really cool. There's so many good things about Soundgarden. They're just so boring to me. I can listen to it and appreciate it, but it doesn't pump me up. I don't know what to say. I could say Guns N' Roses. That would be the easy answer because everybody loves Guns N' Roses, but I don't, and I'm not ashamed of that. They're just not for me. Soundgarden should be one of my favorite bands. I've even told people that they're one of my favorite bands. Oh, shoot, darn it, stupid timer. Why did I ever set you? I tell tons of lies all the time. Off screen, are you actually family friendly? Yeah, I'm pretty family friendly. I'm a pretty wholesome guy. Do you need to learn music theory to make music? Kurt Cobain, I think a lot of things I don't want to answer this question. Forget it. You don't need music theory, but for people like me, music theory is really helpful because I don't intuitively know what to do. How to play the guitar with finger picks. Don't use finger picks. You're allowed to use a thumb pick. Thumb picks are really fun, especially for certain styles, but don't ever use the finger picks. Just don't use them. It's a scam and it's a myth and it's a tragedy and it's one of the... What's your favorite fast food spot? Taco Bell was a problem for me to the point where I had to cold turkey say I'm never having Taco Bell again in my entire life. What led me to this conclusion that I was never allowed to have Taco Bell again is one day I was driving to work and I stopped at Taco Bell drive-thru to get Taco Bell breakfast at Taco Bell. And as I was waiting for them to hand me my order, it occurred to me that I had actually had Taco Bell the day before for breakfast as well. And the day before that. And the entire week. And the week before. For 2 weeks straight, I had Taco Bell for breakfast every day. And I think that was my like rock bottom midlife crisis moment. Question. Are you happy? I am happy. I really cherish the moments of sadness and frustration that I have in my life, which are every single day, and I'm happy. What was your high school time like? It sucked. It was so bad. I was miserable the entire time. How long is this song list you keep telling us about? All right, you want to know? I'm going to tell you exactly how long the list is. The current list of songs that people have requested, 14,087 songs. I just made that up. It's not true. I don't know, but it's a lot. Hey, how do I make public speaking easier? Look, I'm already past the time limit. That's like a big question. I don't know. Just practice speaking in front of people. Great, thanks. Why are you being such a jerk? I'm showing affection by teasing you and bullying you and being a bad person. What's your favorite punk band? Operation Ivy. What's your favorite type of basketball player? The tall ones. Why do you hate guitar solos? I just don't think they sound good. I think they're annoying to learn, and I think they're annoying to teach. Who's your favorite Marvel character? Thanos. Have you ever gotten mad or were in the moment that you almost smashed your guitar or at least thought about it? Yes. When I was a teenager, probably like 9th grade, and I was so mad. I was so mad at my mom and my dad and my teachers, and I grabbed my guitar, and I was like, I'm gonna throw it, and I was like, let me throw it somewhere safe. Well, my bed is pretty safe. I'm gonna throw it on my bed, and I looked at my bed, and there were like some books, some stuff on my bed, so I set my guitar down, I took that stuff off of my bed, so it was just sheets and blankets, and then I threw my guitar onto my bed, and I was so mad, but I wanted to make sure that nothing bad happened. People of the world, friends and relatives, I think that's it for right now, right? We're good.
It's like one of the best YouTube channels ever, getting 750,000 subscribers. Yes.